Good morning, everyone. So today I'm gonna do a video because I'm gonna start another, what do you call that, folder, I guess, on this channel, and it's gonna be all about my journey with pregnancy. So figured the best place to start is probably the first trimester. Right now when I'm making this video, I'm actually 14 weeks, so I'm technically just out of the first trimester. And I wish I would have done videos like by the week, because each week a lot of different things were happening. But I will go ahead and just do one video for the first trimester, and then hopefully for my second and third trimester I can hopefully do more videos for you guys about how each week is feeling. So I found out I was pregnant at only like 4 weeks, maybe a little, like 4 weeks and a couple days or something. So I found out really early in the pregnancy, which probably just ends up making it feel even longer. But I found out because I started having symptoms very early. I was at first like noticing how tired I was. Like I immediately just became so exhausted. Even doing like simple things like doing laundry and like walking up and down the stairs, I would be like, holy cow, I need a nap. Like it was really ridiculous. But I know that that is like a pretty popular side effect that you get, is just chronic tiredness. But so that was one of the first things I noticed, and I kept thinking like, that's kind of odd, but maybe I'm just really tired. Like I'm not really sleeping that well at night, so it makes sense. Then one of the girls, actually both the girls at work, they noticed that I was like smelling everything. Like I was like, who's eating chicken in here? I like walked into the office and they were all just like, what the heck? And I would, I'd go walk an apartment for the day or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, it smells like this in here, or I smell a dog, or it just, every time I would walk in somewhere, I would immediately like pick up on a smell that wasn't really apparent to anybody else, but I smelled it so strong. But to me, like, I feel like I always smell stuff like better than other people anyway, so I didn't really think that much of it. But the girls at work were like, Courtney, like, you think maybe you might be pregnant? And I was like, no, like, I don't think so. I mean, no. And so it kind of got in my head, and so I went home that night and took a pregnancy test, and I honestly, like, I did not think I was pregnant. I just thought like I was gonna get my period in a couple days, and I was just kind of getting, crampy or tired and moody and stuff because, my period was coming. But it was positive. So I've never been pregnant before. I have no children of my own. This was all very new, and as much as Cody and I, like, we're trying to have a baby and we were ready for it, I didn't expect it to happen that fast. So there was like a lot of disbelief in the moment, and so I immediately had to go run to the store and get another pregnancy test because I didn't believe that one, and I wanted to make sure it was a different brand and a different type because, maybe that one was broken. And that one came back positive as well. So I was like, whoa, like, that's really scary. And I'm like happy, but I also want to panic and cry. But you can't take it back now, it's too late. And so it was just like a oh crap moment. There was a lot of emotion, like, in one moment, finding out that I was pregnant. And I didn't know what to do. Like, I felt happy, I felt scared, I felt nervous. And then all of these like questions started coming into my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna have to tell Cody, and then I'm gonna have to tell all these other people, and like, what are they gonna think? And are people gonna be happy for me? Like, it's just weird. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope it's just one baby in there. Like, this could be a lot. And it's crazy the amount of things that flood into your mind before you really even have a second to create those thoughts yourself. It just happens. But anyway, so very shortly after finding out, I would say like a week to a week and a half later is when I really started to experience the not so fun symptoms. So like I can handle being tired. Like it wasn't easy by any means because I'm at work for 9 hours a day and like the exhaustion was real. But I can handle that. But like the nausea, I don't know why they call it morning sickness, because that is like the most understated sentence that you can have. Like, it is not morning sickness, at least not for me. I was sick all day long, all night long. Like, I was constantly nauseous. I was throwing up too, but like the nausea itself never went away. Like, I didn't just get nauseous at the times that I would have to throw up. I would just feel sick all day and all night. So sleeping became even harder because I felt sick, so I couldn't get into a comfortable position. I couldn't fall asleep because obviously I was so focused on how sick I felt. So the exhaustion became worse. I was getting less sleep. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I would have to go throw up, or, you know, I'd be like so cold for some reason. Oh, excuse me. That's another symptom. I'm constantly burping. I am so sorry. It's like, I think I get like heartburn, I guess. I take the Pepsid. That's what my doctor told me to take, was Pepsid, and it does work, but I'm like such a not medicine person. Like, I try really hard to not take medicine unless I absolutely need to, because I just like my body to kind of do its own thing. But sometimes it's gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, you need to go take a Pepsid. So I apologize. But anyways, so the exhaustion became worse. I would get really, really cold. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but I felt like my body temperature was just like all over the place. Like, I felt mainly cold, but sometimes I would get extremely hot also. But I never felt like my body was at a comfortable temperature. I always felt like I was fluctuating from one extreme to the other. And so in the middle of the night, I would wake up. I'd not only be nauseous, I might have to go throw up, but then I would be extremely freezing. So I would go in the shower and I would literally just like sit on the tub floor and just like let the shower run over me and try to get warm. And I'm like shivering so hard. I'm like, you might chip a tooth at this point. Like, you've got to get warm. And my hot water does not last long at all. So it was like I just would start to get warm and then the water would get cold and I'd start shivering all over again. I'm like, this is freaking miserable. Like, what the heck? A heating pad has been my best friend for a while. Like, it's literally, I slid it under my bed so that way I can just turn it on and try to stay warm. Poor Cody, he's like, can you turn that off, please? It's so hot in here. And I'm like, it's like -4. It's so cold. It's really not. It's just, that's how I felt. And then, like I said, the heartburn, that is like really annoying. Like, I'm constantly just feeling like my stomach is just very bloated, and like it does not feel like normal gas. It literally just feels like a constant state of being bloated. And so all of a sudden I'll just have a burp and I'm like, where the heck did that come from? Like, I didn't even feel like I had to burp. It literally just, it happens itself. And I'm like, oh. So that is like annoying, because I'm like, what is it? It's like, I'm not eating anything crazy that would, you know, experience a lot of heartburn. It's just like, no matter what I eat, heartburn. Pepsid does help. So if you're pregnant and you're experiencing that, maybe ask your doctor about that, because that does help. In the beginning, it didn't really help as much, but I've noticed like the longer I've gone through my pregnancy, and if I take it, it does seem to help more. So maybe just kind of stick with it. If you've tried it and it didn't really work at first, maybe try it again later in your pregnancy. I don't really feel like I've gotten moody, like, but I have experienced, like, I feel more angry sometimes. Like, certain things will just like really set me off, where I'm just like, okay, I feel really upset right now, to where it might not even be that big of a deal, but sometimes, like, I don't know what it is. It's just, I feel like maybe like the buffer room that I sort of had before getting pregnant till now, I just feel like it's so much easier to like make me angry. And I've experienced like some like emotional, I guess, points where like I'm like, oh, I could cry right now. I mean, I've had like, I think I've had like 2 of those spells where I kind of just needed to cry. And a lot of it I think was stress related, to where normally I would just handle stress, you know, by talking about it, or I'd get upset, but like I'd get over it and stuff. But like being pregnant, I guess your emotions are all over the place. So I have had to cry a few times, which is, you know, not what I normally like to do, but that has also been something I've experienced. So since being out of the first trimester, I have not thrown up in like 2 weeks, which is really nice because I was getting very sick. I lost 13 pounds in my first trimester, which seems like a lot, and to me, I think it is. But I also got, I was sick. Ow. People with long hair, like, do you guys get stuck in the seatbelt? Ugh. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, pregnancy brain. Jeez, that's a thing too. I forget everything. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I lost weight. So I lost 13 pounds, and at first, like, I was losing weight kind of like steadily due to morning sickness. But then I got COVID, and I think that was probably like 3 weeks ago now. So I think I was like maybe 11 weeks pregnant. So I still had my morning sickness. It wasn't morning sickness, it was all day sickness. And then I got COVID, so I literally felt terrible when I had COVID. I was vomiting. I was constantly going to the bathroom. I didn't want to eat anything. Anything I did eat, I would immediately throw up. I couldn't keep water down, couldn't keep my vitamins down. It was miserable. So I think literally my entire first trimester, I had just not been able to keep, you know, weight on. But obviously I've gone to the doctor, the baby's been checked, and they're doing completely fine in there, just wild as can be, and was moving like crazy, which is good, but it was nerve-wracking for me just because of how fast I was losing weight. I was nervous that they weren't getting what they needed, and like making sure they were okay. But everything's going good. So like I said, keep posted on the next videos to come, because I will keep uploading more throughout this pregnancy. So wish me luck, you guys. Keep me and Cody in your prayers, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.